Hello. Today we're going to start working on another marketing project, but this one is going to be on the place. The last time we concentrated on the product. You should have given me the name of your restaurant, what type of restaurant it is, a fast food type restaurant or a sit down restaurant like Texas Roadhouse or Cracker Barrel. And so today let's start looking at the second P. Remember, the 4 P's of the marketing mix are product, place, price, and promotion. We're going to look at place today. So you have 4 questions to answer, and if you read these instructions, it tells you your place must be on the earth in the United States. It cannot be floating in space, overhead. It cannot be at the space station. It cannot be on a cruise ship. If you have any doubts, please contact me and I'll tell you if it's allowed. Your restaurant must have an appropriate name, so please start referring to your restaurant in this article by name. And it must be one of your original creations. You cannot use something that's already been created, nor copy the restaurant. If you take a look at the instructions, you will also see that you need to write a well-structured paragraph, that's 10 sentences or more, for each of the 4 answers. You will use correct sentence structure and capitalization. Please watch your spelling. You need to create this in a document other than this one that you're looking at, and this one will be attached to the assignment so you can read it. I cannot read when you write over a sentence or over one of my questions, so what I want you to do is create a new document. That can be in Google Docs, it can be in Word on another computer. If you can create a file here in Google Classroom, that's fine. Make sure you number your answers 1, 2, 3, and 4 and put your paragraphs in by typing. I cannot read the writing on the iPad very well. You need to give lots of details and you need to submit this into Google Classroom. Please don't email it to me because I grade in Google Classroom. The first question that you will number 1, it talks about what city and state did you choose for the location of your new restaurant? Why did you choose this location? So tell me where your restaurant is and why you chose that location. Was it because you went on vacation there and you enjoyed it? I don't know. You tell me. Question 2 asks for facts about the area. In a minute, I'll show you how to use the U.S. Census Quick Facts to answer some questions. Some of the questions you must answer: what's the population around your restaurant location? What's the average income? Will the people have enough income earned to be able to eat out at restaurants? What's the average age of the population around your restaurant? Just kind of questions about the people that live around there. When you want to find the average age of your population, you'll go to Google and you'll type in what is the average age of people in, let's say, Seattle or Indianapolis or Chicago. And it will give you the average age. You can also ask what are the age categories and percents for the people who live in Chicago or wherever, and you should be able to get those categories. In a minute, I'll show you how to use the U.S. Census Quick Facts to answer some of the other questions. And number 3, it says Google a map of your area where you're going to locate. You need to tell me why you're choosing an area within that map, and I will show you how to use that map. You have to tell me a little bit about your restaurant in your location, your place. Will it be a standalone business? A standalone business is like Texas Roadhouse that has a building of its own, or Starbucks has a small building a lot of times of its own. Cracker Barrel is a standalone. Would you rather have your business in a plaza where there's lots of other businesses around, or would you rather have it maybe inside a mall? Remember to think about COVID. Where a mall is normally busy, what has COVID done? You tell me what you would like, and I'm going to show you how to Google a map here in a minute. Also, tell me what special attractions occur in the city where you are located for question number 4. If you look at Indianapolis, they have sports teams. They have a professional football team and a AAA baseball team. They have car races. They have conventions. I want you to be very specific on this question. Look, I don't want copy and paste. I want you to look up what's available in this city. What kind of conventions do they have? What kind of tourist attractions do they have? Do they have colleges people would want to come see? Start thinking about any reason large groups of people would come to your location. So the second thing I want to show you here is for question 2, how to use the Census Quick Facts. So if we go here, and you can see that I typed in U.S. Census Quick Facts, Indianapolis, because I'm going to use Indianapolis as my example. When we take a look, the very first one says U.S. Census Quick Facts, Indianapolis. I'm going to click on it and see if this is the right one. And come on. Let's go. There we go. Okay. So if you look at this right-hand column, it says this is for Indiana. I don't want Indiana. I want the city of Indianapolis. So I can come over to the top left, and up here I'm going to type in Indianapolis. You guys would be faster at typing this than me. So you'll notice that right below the box it says Indianapolis City, Indiana. So I'm going to touch that. And now I'll have a column for Indiana and the Indiana city of Indianapolis. So if we take a look at this, you'll notice the first thing at the top of the list is it says the population of Indianapolis, the real Indianapolis, not including Carmel, Noblesville, all those other outlying cities. Those are called bedroom communities around a bigger city. There's about 876,000 people in Indianapolis itself. If we look at the second line, you'll notice that 9 years ago, there was only 820,000. And the third line tells you the growth there has been 6.8%. That's a pretty good statistic. You've got people moving to Indianapolis. Inside Indianapolis, it's growing. So maybe this would be a good place to locate. So we're going to take a look at a few other details. If we look at the age, you'll notice that under 18, that's 25% of the population basically. Could you create a restaurant like Dave and Buster's or Chuck E. Cheese? Would there be enough? I would say if you count 1/4 of that total population as being young people, you could design a restaurant for young people. If you look at the older people, people 65 and over, it's only 12%. And that's not really a large percentage. People in Indianapolis, when they get older, they must be moving to Florida or they maybe are moving to Arizona. They're going to areas that are nicer and the weather is better for older people. If we go through here, you'll see there's lots of information about who makes up the city. And I'm going to go down here to housing because right here it says the median value of a house in Indianapolis is $129,000. Outside of Indianapolis, the average in the state is $135,000. If I were to type in Noblesville or Carmel, that number would be a much larger number because they're a more affluent area. So you can try looking at different areas of where you would like to be near and find where they have a little bit more affluence. Right down here under education, that's another good indicator. In Indianapolis, only 85% of the people have graduated from high school. That means 15 out of 100 have dropped out of high school. That is not necessarily a good indicator because typically the more educated a population is, typically, not always, but typically, their income will be larger. If we look at the next line down, bachelor's degree, that's 4 years of college, getting their 4-year degree or more. That's 30%. So that's really kind of an interesting statistic because you have 15% who don't even have a high school diploma, and then you have 30% who are college educated. So you've got a little bit of good news there. If we take a look at the economy, it says in the civilian labor force, that's just people, not military, Anybody over 16, there's about 67% of people working in Indianapolis. The national average, or the Indianapolis average, the Indiana average is 64%. So Indianapolis is a little bit better off. And let's see here. Let's go down here to income. The income in Indy, the median household income is $46,000. But in all of Indiana, it's about $54,000. So people in Indianapolis on average earn about $8,000 less. So you might want to look around and say, is there a better place for me to locate? And that's what I'm going to look at. But this is the type of information you should use in the second paragraph. In the third paragraph, I told you to use a map. So we're going to add a third page here. And we are going to go in, and I'm going to type in Indianapolis map. There we go. Now when I get this map, I'm going to just click on Indianapolis map right here, Indianapolis, Indiana. And you'll see that you get a really nice map here. Now, if we want to talk about places to locate, up here by 69 and 465, right here in this area, this is where Top Golf located. It's also where IKEA located, and they do this because there's a lot of traffic flowing by on Highway 69 and 465. A lot of people see them and will stop because they see them. The more exposure your restaurant gets, the better. If we go over here to Castleton, if you've ever gone shopping in Indy, you know that this is a very busy area as well. So as I continue to look around Indianapolis, I can find different places that I might like to locate. This area coming up here to Zionsville can be a very good area as well. And if we come over, I'm trying to find, oh, right down here's the Speedway. This year was a bad year for restaurants around the Speedway because it did not occur, but hopefully it will occur again next year. If I take a look right down here, there's the Indianapolis Zoo. A lot of people go there, but is it enough to cause you to be successful? You would have to tell me. Okay, up here, here's Marion University in Indianapolis. That might be a good place to locate nearby. And I can't find it right now, but in Indianapolis, there is IUPUI. And IUPUI typically has, right here it is, IUPUI usually has about 30,000 students on a given day. They also have Riley Hospital in that area, University Hospital. You could have a lot of traffic in that area. That might be a good area to locate as well. Now, what else can you say about Indianapolis? You're going to have to look that up and find out what sports teams do they have? What visitors attractions do they have? Do they have any other reason for people to come, like conventions? The busier the area is, the more likely you are to succeed. So these are the questions I want you to answer, the 4 I showed you at the beginning, and this is a little bit of help on how to find the answers. Please remember to use full paragraphs and complete sentences. I'm looking for about 10 sentences at least per paragraph. Have a good day.